Okay, so let's unpack this. Welcome to the deep dive,
Hi there.
where we cut through the noise, by diving deep into specific source material. Really pull out the important insights for you.
Exactly.
Today, we have a fascinating source in front of us. It's a document describing a service. Seems like it supports folks preparing for certification exams.
That's right.
And it focuses specifically on the RCDD certification from BICSI, offered by someone called CertPassCenter.
That's the name given.
Our goal is, well, pretty simple. Based entirely on the details presented, in this source, what exactly does this service claim to provide?
Yeah, and I think looking closely at how a specific provider presents itself, just using their own words, their materials,
Yeah.
it gives us a clearer picture of their offer without bringing in outside opinions.
Right.
This document is basically our lens for understanding CertPassCenter's stated approach to RCDD support.
Perfect. Yeah, it looks like this source is essentially, promotional material for CertPassCenter. It jumps right into the value of the RCDD certification itself.
It does.
So drawing only from what this document tells us, what is the RCDD cert?
Okay, so according to this material, the RCDD is BICSI's flagship program. It stands for Registered Communications Distribution Designer.
Okay, RCDD.
Yeah, and it's targeted at professionals who are, designing and implementing structured cable systems and communication infrastructure generally.
Gotcha. Infrastructure design.
Right. The document positions it as globally recognized, and it also highlights several stated benefits.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Well, it's said to improve the reliability of communications infrastructure, also expand employment opportunities for people who hold it,
Makes sense.
and enable participation in competitive projects.
Yeah.
It specifically mentions opportunities with the Department of Defense, DoD, and other government contracts.
Okay, so definitely sounds like a significant credential in that networking and infrastructure space based on this description.
That's how it's presented here, yeah.
Now, turning to CertPassCenter's offering as described here, what's the broad scope of what they claim to do?
So this source identifies CertPassCenter as a provider of RCDD dumps and exam pass support.
Okay, dumps and pass support.
And while the focus here is RCDD, the document also lists a substantial portfolio. It indicates they cover a wide range of other certifications too, across various fields.
Like what other areas?
Things like security, IT networking, project management, and more. It lists specific certs like CISSP, CCNA, PMP, CEH, among, it says, over 600 others in their claimed portfolio.
Wow, 600 plus. Oh, that's quite a range.
It is. But focusing back on RCDD, the text describes these RCDD dumps as providing practice and updated research materials to help users get familiar with questions and, important concepts.
The practice materials.
And the RCDD exam pass support part is presented as offering tools and structured instructions, with sample questions provided to help candidates understand the exam's format and complexity.
Right, so dumps for practice, pass support for tools and structure. Got it.
That seems to be the distinction they're making in the text.
Okay, so the document also has a section titled How It Works. That sounds intriguing. It seems to detail their claimed step-by-step process.
Yes.
Let's walk through that just as the source lays it out.
Absolutely. Okay, so the document outlines a 5-step process for using their service.
Okay, step 1.
Step 1, select your certification. So you choose the specific cert you need help with from their list.
Pretty straightforward.
Step 2, connect with us. The next step involves connecting with them to receive, and this is a quote from the source, a detailed explanation of the future process.
Okay, so connect for the full rundown. What's step 3?
Step 3 is exam scheduling. It says the candidate can schedule the exam themselves, or their team is available to assist with this step.
Right, some flexibility there.
Seems so. Step 4 is passing the exam. Now, on the day of the exam, the instruction given here is, and again quoting, sit back and see the magic of you passing with flying colors.
Sit back and see the magic. That's quite a statement.
It is quite a statement, yes. And then step 5, pay the fee. Payment for their service is required only after the candidate gets confirmation that they have passed the exam.
Only after passing.
Okay.
That sit back and see the magic and then pay after confirmation.
Yeah.
Those 2 steps definitely stand out as core to their claimed process in this document.
They're certainly presented prominently.
The source also gives specific details about the RCDD exam format itself. What does the material say about the actual test structure?
Yeah, the document lists these specifics for the RCDD exam. The exam name is Registered Communications Distribution Designer, RCDD.
Okay.
Number of questions, 100.
100 questions.
Exam format, multiple choice.
Standard format.
Seems like it. Time allotted, 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours, okay.
And exam fees. The fees are listed as $510 for BICSI members and $725 for non-members.
Right. Member versus non-member pricing.
Yeah.
That gives a clear picture of the exam itself, at least according to this source.
Mm-hmm.
Now, beyond the dumps and the general pass support we talked about, the document also details online training services. What does the material indicate is included in that specific offering?
Okay, yeah. In the online training details section, the source provides these points. The training type is described as online.
Thanks.
It claims to cover all labs, and it specifies topology, questions, solutions, and verifications.
All labs, okay.
The training is stated to be provided by their best experts.
Best experts noted.
Delivery is via platforms like, Zoom, Skype, or TeamViewer. The usual suspects.
Remote delivery.
Schedules are apparently customizable based on convenient timings, although it does say terms and conditions apply.
Ah, the TNCs. Of course.
Naturally, sessions are either 4 or 8 hours long.
Okay, session lengths.
There's a 6-month subscription and updates period included.
6 months access.
And support is offered via mail, it says, as soon as possible. And chat, which is claimed as 247-365.
Constant chat support. Interesting.
And finally, exam guidance is stated to be provided by their experts to help with preparations.
Okay, so a structured online training package with live sessions, some flexibility, ongoing support, that's also part of the claim services described here.
That's what the details suggest, yes.
The document also has a Why Us section, kind of outlining their main selling points. What reasons does this source give for choosing CertPassCenter?
Right. The Why Us. The document highlights several reasons. First, payment after passing.
We touched on that.
Yes. They state they're confident in helping clients pass on the first attempt. And if a client doesn't succeed, they claim they will fully cover the exam fee for the next attempt.
They cover the retest fee.
Okay, that's the claim. Second, 24/7 support. Their goal here, they state, is to build trust by offering support anytime, anywhere.
Building trust through availability.
Third, 100% secure and confidential. They claim top-tier security and prioritize privacy and data safety to protect, a client's career and future.
Security and privacy are big concerns, yeah.
Fourth, the 600-plus certification portfolio. They list the wide range of certs they cover as a key selling point. Variety in one place.
The breadth of offering again.
Fifth, experienced team. The document claims they've been committed to excellence since 2024.
Since 2024, that's very recent.
Yes, that's what it says. Since 2024, and boast a 100% success rate, which they attribute to their subject matter experts.
Okay, 100% rate since 2024. Interesting claim.
And sixth, quick response. They emphasize prioritizing fast and efficient communication.
Right, responsiveness.
And there's one more thing tied into the Why Us. Implicitly, the source includes a claim about potential earnings. It cites many surveys to state that average RCDD consultants in the USA earn around $105,000 USD per year.
Ah, linking the cert to salary potential as a motivator.
Seems to be the angle, yes.
Okay, so that claimed 100% success rate since 2024, and that payment after passing model are definitely notable aspects of their pitch as presented here.
They stand out, for sure.
Now, let's circle back to that term dumps they use. Does the source itself address any, questions or caveats about using these materials? I think you said their FAQ section touches on this.
Yes, it does. The document directly addresses the use of RCDD dumps within its FAQ section. It states that dumps provide a, quote, real-facing environment for BICSI RCDD practice test.
A real-facing environment. Okay.
But critically, the source itself advises that using them should be done ethically and along with the official RCDD certification practice test.
Ethically and with official materials. That's important context from that.
Yes, they explicitly pair those ideas. It also includes a specific caution. Dumps are not always the most reliable thing.
Why not?
Because, it says, the real exam is updated regularly.
Right. Content changes. Makes sense.
So for this reason, the document advocates using dumps as an adjunct to regular practice sessions for a more balanced preparation approach.
An adjunct, so like a supplement, not the main thing.
That appears to be the recommendation here. It emphasizes that these regular practice test sessions, whether official ones or sample ones, are essential for identifying weak areas, improving time management, and boosting confidence for the actual exam.
That's quite interesting. The source itself provides nuance about the reliability of dumps, and explicitly suggests combining their use with official materials and doing so ethically. It's not just saying use our dumps.
No, it's their description of how they view and suggest using these materials, presented right there in the document. We're just relaying what the text says.
Absolutely. And that brings us pretty much to the end of this deep dive into the CertPassCenter source material, specifically regarding RCDD support.
Feels like we've covered the key points presented.
Yeah, we've explored how the document describes the RCDD certification itself, CertPassCenter's claimed service offering, including those dumps and pass support terms, their stated 5-step how it works process, which features that pay-after-passing model.
And the exam format details as they presented them, their specific online training claims.
Right, and the reasons they list under Why Us, including that success rate claim since 2024 and the salary mention. And finally, their own commentary within the FAQs on using dumps ethically alongside official resources.
A comprehensive look based solely on this one source.
Exactly. Everything we've discussed today has been drawn directly and solely from the details presented in this specific source document that we had.
That's correct. Our aim was just to understand the claims made by this particular service provider, based purely on the material they've provided.
So for you, the listener, here's maybe a thought to take away based on what we've uncovered just now in this deep dive. Considering the service model described in this document, especially that payment after passing claim, what does that imply, perhaps, about the pursuit of a professional certification?
That's a good question to ponder.
And also, how does the source's own advice regarding the, quote, ethical use of dumps alongside official practice materials influence your perspective on preparing for a high-stakes exam like the RCDD?
Yeah, maybe reflect on how different preparation strategies, even the ones described within a